Alright, so here we have the next contestant on Why You Have to Be Mid. So here we have Aaron Cox. He first was just asking a simple question, fair enough, but then it got a little angry at one point. They said, "Why are you pulling apart, to learn or for content?" I said, all the above, plus it's junk anyways, crack block, pistons are bad. And they asked, "How do you crack a cast block?" I said, "By beating the shit out of it." He was doing 5,500 RPM shifts a lot, especially running straight water and no head gasket. And he said 5,500 isn't much. And I just said, "You say that, but it actually is, considering when I race, I'm shifting up to 4,200, which I found to be the most effective with my current setup. But again, use silicone for a head gasket and see how well that's gonna cool. Because, yeah, duh." Like, it's so obvious, but yet he won't really listen to me. And he does have a point here, to be honest. He says, "You've got a stock underbuilt motor, and yeah, around 4,000 RPM is about its limit. But when these engines are set up properly, especially the 200, they can easily rev out to 9,500 RPM. I've never really seen one do that, but maybe they can. I've never seen it personally. Just ask the racing pros down in Argentina. See, yeah, their heads are a lot better though, to be fair. They actually have, like, if you get one of their heads, different story. It's much easier to rev and stuff like that. With their stupid American log heads, it doesn't really work that well. They say their own 250 makes over 500 horsepower, and they only shift at 5,900 RPM, not because it can't rev higher, but because the longer stroke limits how far I can push it. Exactly. The reality is stock Ford motors are weak as delivered, and they need a lot of work before they can become anything impressive. And I said, okay, but you're missing the point where it didn't have a head gasket in it. It had straight silicone, zero gasket. How do you expect that to properly distribute the water, as I see zero evidence he had any coolant um, in it without one? Every port was covered in silicone. Not hard to wreck a motor when you don't build it properly. He said, "No, I read that. I'm trying to find out why take it apart instead of throwing it away. I understand you are fishing for comments for content, but this is the most useless post I've ever seen and follow. Your basic content, I understand you're trying to explain the simple mechanics of an engine, but it's not working because there are so many people long before you have done this. Please stop. You're not doing a good job. Simply all I see is Bob built a motor to sell to somebody to make cash by using junkyard parts, and now you are reviewing Bob the Thief. This is the content you should be talking about, not about how to rebuild a hunk of metal that should be melted down." And now, granted, now I am actually using this for content. I wasn't planning to, but I said, "I'm not milking comments for content, actually. I was just trying to figure out why you care as much as you do on this. I'm having fun tearing down an engine. Surprisingly, it isn't as bad as I expected, but still not great. The head I'm going to try and use if it's not screwed, we'll see on that, as well as the supposed aftermarket cam. Worst case scenario, everything I want is not really usable. I get content to share with others about it. My first video of tearing the head down and inspecting it, people have loved, and others are looking forward to it. You may not like it, but a lot of others do. They say I'm saying you're milking it because you posted across 3 pages and 3 platforms." Okay, yeah, that's pretty minor for a lot of my videos. I usually post in a lot more groups than that, but fair enough. They said, "This is definitely milking it content thing. Every person who knows engines understands everything you said. I'm proud that you were tearing apart an engine for your first time, so enjoy it. But we don't need to see it across every single platform that exists in social media as at the exact same time. Share experience with a few set of friends and the boundaries of what you want to work with. I tried to share my build with many others, but realized it should only be shared with a select few. That's why I keep myself limited. Not saying cut back, I'm just saying don't post across Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to make yourself liked. Just rebuild the fucking engine, for God's sakes." Again, he's getting very mad. I don't understand why. And again, sharing it in 3 places is not exactly much. And I said, "Dude, really? You're upset that I shared this across 2 groups? That's what you're supposed to do to grow better. I do this because people love to follow the build. I also do not get paid. Well, I also do get paid from it, albeit not a ton, but it is income. So get off your high horse, Aaron. And that's where we've left it so far. So, yeah, fun times.